Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today, even though 2024 is just getting started, I'm going to just take that leap of faith and show you the best mods so far that might just make you reinstall Skyrim. Even after the update and all the drama that came with it, this might just make you return to Skyrim. So make sure you hit that like button down below and subscribe to the channel if you end up actually enjoying this video. But without further ado, let's dive right in. And also one little quick side note, due to the nature of how fast I actually release, which I might need to slow down eventually. But due to that, I have covered most of these already, but they are still great mods nonetheless. Oh, and this list is based on a trending on Nexus, so it's technically what you guys love and not just me. But the first mod up is Animated Ships by Vicken. And if you didn't know, Vicken is also the mod author of Vigilant and the other two big land DLCs. The Animated Ships places boats around the big docks in Skyrim, like of course the main one that everyone thinks of when you hear docks is Solitude Docks, and there are quite a few around there. And the best part is that if you can actually find a way to get on them, you can actually ride the boat. You can't control it unfortunately because they have their own set cycle that they follow, so you're just along for the ride if you actually get on it. But it's not just the Solitude dock, it's pretty much all the major ones like at the Riften docks, which you can actually see from inside the city, so that lets you know they have their own LODs. You just probably want to ignore my ugly LODs because I didn't run Dying Dulot yet. And the great part is that this also extends to the DLC lands, or at least part of it, so you will also see them near Castle Volkihar. Maybe that's how Archon actually gets his food, because that would make a lot of sense. And then there's Solstheim DLC, or Dragonborn. I always stress saying that DLC land name wrong, but these ships are immersive to Solstheim also. They won't have the regular boat look like in Skyrim, unless you go near the Skull Village, then it'll start looking like Skyrim. But now we can move on to the next mod. I'm sure there are a bunch of Easter eggs and animated ships I missed, but it's the reason it's the top downloaded mod of 2024. The next mod up is a hair mod named Modular SMP Hairstyles by Everglade. Everglade is probably tired of me by now considering how many times they've seen me, and to that I say stop making good mods and you'll see less of me. But this mod has over 100 unisex hairstyles. Well, it's really about 11 hairstyles truthfully, but it has over 100 combinations with those hairstyles, and they add new bangs and ponytails to mix and match. It's pretty rare that males actually get hairstyles in Skyrim nowadays, like they got left behind, but this is always a welcome addition to my list now. This does require faster HDT though, or your hair will clip into the ground. I remember when I first started modding and that was my biggest issue. Now I have other issues that I can't even mention without being ostracized about. Oh, and did I mention SMP is kind of like my weakness? Anything with SMP in it is an instant download for me if it looks good. Like this one definitely looks good. Because it's kind of like the one thing that Skyrim was missing, and with mods like this becoming more and more frequent, it's only a matter of time before we seduce you back into playing Skyrim. Oh, and let me know down in the comments if you think these look better on men or the women in Skyrim. I'm kind of leaning towards the men for this one, but that's just me being biased because I want more people to make men hairstyles. Next up is a pretty simple mod I had to showcase because apparently you guys loved it and wouldn't stop downloading it. This mod replaces those ugly white round tundra shrubs that's all over the place. It replaces the Stonecrop one to be specific with a 3D model from a new mod by Dr. Jacopo. For this type of shrub, I usually use a mod to remove them because they're usually just super ugly, but since it's finally been replaced with something actually beautiful, I see no reason to not use it now. So like I said, this is a super simple mod, and the great part is it isn't over 300 megabytes, it's just a simple 10 megabyte download. That is clearly just a plug and play, so definitely you should go and grab this. There's really no reason not to. The next mod blew up because it's by the one and only Jade Serpa, and because it's a great mod. I'm not trying to hate on it. But this mod is called Face Sculptor Expanded, taking us to the depths of Riften to explore that forgotten NPC that does nothing but insult people. Just imagine spending hours on your character and race menu just for an unknown NPC to call you hideous and poor. I can only imagine the amount of people that actually tried to kill her. Even Nazim doesn't go that far. But about this mod, it brings new life to the Face Sculptor NPC. It actually gives her new lines based on Vanilla's, nothing actually revoiced. But it also makes new interactions for her. Like in Vanilla, you could just walk right past her and she just calls you ugly, but in this one, if you approach her, she forces you into a dialogue. But that isn't the only new part about this mod. Every time you walk into the Rag Flagon, there is a chance the NPC will be talking to the Face Sculptor, or you may see them run up to her pretty fast, cause they kinda have a bounty on them, and she will have an interaction with them where she changes their face and they walk out pretty satisfied. And speaking of changing face, this mod also gives her a new option when speaking with her. You can either just change your face for a simple 500 gold, which is just like in vanilla, but now there's another option for 1000 gold, which not only lets you change your face, but it also lets you remove any bounty on you. So for those people who can't help but be a criminal in Skyrim, this option is for you. The only time I actually get a bounty in Skyrim is when I try and talk to an NPC and accidentally pick up something and it counts as stolen, which is kind of annoying, but there's a mod for that now. Or I end up killing Nazim.
Another charming customer. Well, what's it going to be?
I managed to sneak past the guards and get this far, but I don't think I can go on. Please, you've got to help me.
Ah, yes. The guards know your face. I do not practice my art for free, however. I doubt you can afford my services. You have the smell of the vagabond about you.
No, I'll... fine. I'll even pay.
Good. Let's see what we can do. Now, tell me what you desire. Beauty or hideous deformity?
Just do whatever it takes. But please, don't chop my head off.
Don't move.
Ah! What did you do? What was that?
That was a good bit of work. Look at you. Not bad.
Oh, really? Excellent. Thank you.
Yes. Now get out of my way.
Yeah, you definitely could have skipped that last part, but I wanted to showcase the full interaction she has with other NPCs besides you. I probably put a disclaimer so people can skip it, but we're just gonna move on to the next mod. And the next mod we have is JK Fort Dawnguard. JK took his talents all over Skyrim, and the only thing left, at least for now, to do is to overhaul the DLC lands. And to do that, he started with the Dawnguard's Fort Dawnguard. The best part about this overhaul though, maybe it's because it's in its own separate land like a portal, but this overhaul didn't cost me any FPS. I do have a 3070 though, so maybe that's why, but that's nowhere near as powerful as the 40 series. This overhaul actually makes the fort look like it's rebuilding instead of just being a fully remastered repaired castle that looks amazing and like it just got built, but it actually looks a little janky with the wooden boards everywhere. Which is pretty much all you could expect from a faction that just started or at least is rebuilding itself. And of course JK did overhaul the interior, but even then it didn't cost me much FPS or really any at all for that matter. Maybe it's because this one is newer so it doesn't have a Lux patch yet. Because Lux in JK is generally what causes people so many FPS inside interiors. And that's partially why I use distinct interiors, but I might be removing that also. So this is a great FPS friendly addition besides Immersive Fort Dawnguard because that one did attack me a little. But if we just throw out the meaning of FPS friendly, once you have a 30 plus, then this is definitely what you want to grab. Otherwise this is a great mod just to spice things up a little. Especially considering I already didn't like the Dawnguard DLC, so every little addition to make it a little better is welcome in my load order. The next mod up is a lighting mod that actually left me pretty shocked when I saw it in my game. This mod is called Skyrim is Luminous by Carbon Dice. This lighting mod is nearly perfect in my opinion, and you can just tell that just by looking at the side-by-side comparisons. The reasons I say nearly perfect though is because I haven't found a way to lower the intensity of the candle lighting, because they kind of look like spotlights in my game. But literally everything else is perfect with this mod. Oh, and another thing, I plugged this mod in, aka I installed it. I don't know why I keep saying I plugged it in, but I launched my game with this mod installed and no patches were needed. Everything worked perfectly, even though I used distinct interiors, which does change things up. So I assume JK interiors would be the same. All the campfires and braziers look like I was still using Lux, so no patches plus no FPS drops, plus less jaw calls equal an automatic download for me. The only thing I have to figure out is how to actually get those candle lights to dim down just a little bit, then things will be exactly perfect. Honestly, there are so many other mods I could have showcased, but I just wanted to address the current state of modding that people think is going into the ground. And honestly, I think that we're doing better than ever. I'm not gonna lie and say Bethesda saved modding or anything like that, but the update honestly helped some of the most hardcore modders. Like some of people's most favorite mod lists to download from Wabbajack is Novice and Vagabond. They all have over 2k mods, some even having near 4k like Vagabond. And honestly, they're probably going to get even bigger and better after these updates because with the update they essentially doubled the ESL limit. And ESLs is pretty much what everyone is aiming for nowadays with modding, because if you have an ESP and not an ESL, it counts towards your mod list, because once you hit the max ESPs, that's all you can do, no more modding. But even then, like I said, the most hardcore modders were still hitting their ESL limit, which was over a few thousand. So this update may not have helped everyone, at least not immediately, and I may get some backlash for this down in the comments. But if you look past right now and the issues that you're having right now, and look at the future, this update definitely opened up more possibilities for modding, because we are definitely going to be thriving more now than ever. But that was it for today, guys. Let me know your opinion on the updates down in the comments, but on your way down there, make sure you leave a like on the video and subscribe for more content in the future. But as of right now, I hope you all have a great day. Peace and love.